Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I am super excited to be back before you again. Diving right back into our studies, picking back where we left off at Genesis chapter 44 is where we're going to start today. So go ahead and go and get your swords, your pens, your papers, your markers, your coffee, your water, whatever it is that you're drinking, so we can dive right back into our studies. It is a beautiful, gorgeous morning. I'm so excited to be alive. I just thank the Most High YAH for waking me up and breathing life into my body. I'm so honored to be here before you guys to read His holy word and just being obedient to my Father and doing His will, right? I'm just super excited to be here in His presence. And so when we last studied, we left off at Genesis chapter 43. If you remember, Joseph had brought his brothers into his home and prepared a feast for them. And so he recognizes them, but they don't recognize him. And so we're going to pick back up at Genesis chapter 44. And he commanded the one over his house, saying, "Fill the men's sacks with food, as they are able to bear, and put each man's silver in the mouth of his sack. And put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest, and the silver for his grain." And he did according to the word Joseph which he spoke. So Joseph is telling the man, telling one of his servants, go ahead and fill up their sacks with grain and put silver in their sacks as well. But as for the youngest, which is Benjamin, right, put my silver cup in his sack as well. So he finds favor in his youngest brother, Benjamin. Verse 3. As soon as the morning was light, the men were sent away, and they and their donkeys. And when they had gone out of the city, not having gone far, Joseph said to the one over his house, "Rise up, follow the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, 'Why have you repaid evil for good? Is this not the one from which my master drinks, and with which he indeed divines? You have done evil in what you have done.' So he overtook them and spoke these words to them. And they said to him, 'Why does my master say these words? Far be it from us that your servants should do according to this word. See, we brought back to you from the land of Canaan the silver which we found in the mouths of our sacks. How then shall we steal silver or gold from your master's house? With whomever of your servants it is found, he shall die, and we shall become my master's slaves as well.' And he said, 'Now also let it be according to your words. He with whom it is found becomes my slave, and you are innocent.' And they harried. Each man let down his sack to the ground, and each opened his sack. And he searched with the oldest first, and with the youngest last. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack." Oh, wow. "And they tore their garments, and each man loaded his donkey and went back to the city. And Yehudah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, and he was still there, and they fell before him on the ground. And Joseph said to them, 'What deed is this that you have done? Did you not know that a man like me indeed divines?' And Yehudah said, 'What do we say to my master? What do we speak? Or how do we clear ourselves? Elohim has found out the wickedness of your servants. See, we are my master's slaves, both we and he also with whom the cup was found.' But he said, 'Far be it from me to do this. The man in whose hand the cup was found, he becomes my slave. And you, go up in peace to your father.' So here Joseph is saying, no, only the one who had my cup in his sack will be my slave. The remainder of you can go back to your father. So he's saying that Benjamin is the one who is to be his slave. Although Joseph ordered his servant to put the cup into Benjamin's sack, right? So let's see where this goes. Verse 18. And Yehuda came near to him and said, O my master, please let your servant speak a word in my master's hearing, and do not let your displeasure burn against your servant, for you are like Pharaoh. My master asked his servants, saying, Have you a father or a brother? And we said to my master, We have a father, an old man, and a young child of his old age, and his brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him. And you said to your servants, Bring him down to me, and let me lay my eyes on him. And we said to my master, The boy is not able to leave his father, for if he leaves his father shall die. But you said to your servants, Unless your youngest brother comes down with you, you do not see my face again. And it came to be, when we went up to your servant, my father, that we told him the words of my master. And our father said, Go back and buy us a little food. But we said, We are not able to go down. If our younger brother is with us, then we shall go down, for we are not able to see the man's face unless our younger brother is with us. Then your servant, my father, said to us, You know that my wife bore me 2 sons, and the one went out from me, and I said, Truly he is torn to pieces, and I have not seen him since. And if you take this one from me too, and harm comes to him, you shall bring down my gray hair with evil to the grave. And now, if I come to your servant my father, and the boy is not with us, since his own life is bound up in his life, then it shall be, when he sees that the boy is not with us, that he shall die. So here, Joseph's brothers is pleading with him. They're talking to him. They're saying, Master, we only brought Benjamin down here because you said that we couldn't come back to here if he wasn't with us. And the only reason we were able to bring Benjamin with us is because our father made us promise that we would be sure that nothing happened to him, because if anything happened to him, then he himself would die. So this is the conversation that Joseph's brothers are having with him. Verse 31. Then it shall be, when he sees that the boy is not with us, that he shall die. So your servants shall bring down the gray hair of your servant, our father, with sorrow to the grave. For your servant went guarantor for the boy to my father, saying, If I do not bring him back to you, then I shall be a sinner before my father forever. And now, please, let your servant remain instead of the boy, as a slave to my master, and let the boy go up with his brothers. For how do I go up to my father if the boy is not with me, lest I see the evil that will come upon my father? Excuse me. Chapter 35. And Joseph was unable to restrain himself before all those who stood by him, and he called out, Have everyone go out from me. So no one stood with him while Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept out loud, and the Mishrites in the house of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? But his brothers were unable to answer him, for they trembled before him. Then Joseph said to his brothers, Please come near me. And when they came near, he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom you sold into Mitzrayim. And now do not be grieved nor displeased with yourselves because you sold me here, for Elohim sent me before you to preserve life. For 2 years now the scarcity of food has been in the land, and there are still 5 years in which there is neither plowing nor harvesting. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant in the earth, and to give life to you by a great escape. Wow. So then you did not send me here, but Elohim. He has appointed me for a father to Pharaoh, and a master of all his house, and ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Wow. So praise Yahuwah. So Joseph is telling his brothers, like, you did not send me to Mitzrayim. The Most High, Elohim, he did. He sent Joseph here because the Most High knew beforehand that the land would be in famine, in scarcity of food. And so he sent Joseph to Mitzrayim to preserve life for his brothers and for his father, so that they would have favor in the land through Joseph. Hallelujah. Verse 8. So then you did not send me here, but Elohim, and he has appointed me for a father to Pharaoh and master of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, thus says your son Joseph, Elohim has made me master of all Mitzrayim. Come down to me, do not delay. And you shall dwell in the land of Goshen and be near to me, you and your children and your children's children, your flocks and your herds and all that you have. And I shall provide for you there, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty, because 5 years of scarcity of food are still to come. And look, your eyes and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, see that it is my mouth that speaks to you. And you shall inform my father of all my esteem in Mitzrayim, and of all that you have seen. And you shall hurry and bring my father down here. And he fell on his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept on his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept over them, and after that his brothers spoke with him. And the report of it was heard by the house of Pharaoh, saying, the brothers of Joseph have come. And it was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this, load your beasts and go, enter the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households and come to me. And I give you the best of the land of Mitzrayim, and you eat of the fatness of the land. And you have been commanded, do this. Take the wagons of the land of Mitzrayim for your little ones and for your wives, and you shall bring your father and come. And do not be concerned about your goods, for the best of all the land of Mitzrayim is yours. And the sons of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons according to the command of Pharaoh, and he gave them food for the journey. He gave to all of them, to each man, changes of garments, but to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver and 5 changes of garments. And he sent to his father this, 10 donkeys loaded with the best of Mitzrayim, 10 female donkeys loaded with grain and bread and food for his father for the journey. So he sent his brothers away, and they left. And he said to them, do not quarrel along the way. And they went up out of Mitzrayim and came to the land of Canaan, to Yaakov their father. And they told him, saying, Joseph is still alive, and he is governor over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yaakov's heart ceased, for he did not believe them. Because remember, he's thinking Joseph was deceased. Verse 27, but when they spoke to him, all the words which Joseph had spoken to them, and when he saw the wagons which Joseph had sent to transport him, the spirit of Yaakov their father revived. And Israel said, enough, my son Joseph is still alive. Let me go and see him before I die. Praise Yah. And Israel departed with all that he had and came to Beersheba and brought offerings to the Elohim of his father, Yishak. which is Hebrew for Isaac. And Elohim spoke to Israel the vision of the night and said, Yaakov, Yaakov. And he said, Here I am. And he said, I am the Elohim of your father. Do not be afraid to go down to Mitzrayim, for I shall make you there into a great nation. I myself am going down with you to Mitzrayim, and I myself shall certainly bring you up again, and let Joseph put his hand on your eyes. And Yaakov rose up from Beersheba, and the sons of Israel brought forth their father Yaakov and their little ones and their wives in the wagons which Pharaoh had sent to transport him. And they took their livestock and their property, which they had acquired in the land of Canaan, and came into Mitzrayim, Yaakov and all his seed with him, his sons and his sons' sons, his daughters and his sons' daughters, and all his seed he brought with him to Mitzrayim. And these were the names of the children of Israel. Yaakov and his sons who came into Mitzrayim. Reuben was Yaakov's firstborn, and the sons of Reuben, Hanok and Palu, and Hetzron and Carmi. And the sons of Shimon, Yemuel and Yamin, and Ohad and Yakin, and Sohar and Shaul, son of a Canaanite woman. And the sons of Levi, Gershon, Kahath, and Merari. And the sons of Yahudah, and Onan, and Shelah, and Peretz, and Zarah. But and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Peretz were Hetzron and Hamul. And the sons of Yissachar, Tola, and Puah, and Yob, and Shimron. And the sons of Zebulun, Sered, and Elon, and Yaleel. These were the sons of Leah, whom she bore to Yaakov in Padan Aram, with his daughter Dinah. All the beings, his sons and his daughters, were 33. And the sons of Gad, Saphion and Haggai, Shunai and Etzbon, Eri and Arodai and Areli. And the sons of Asher, Yimnah and Yeshua and Yeshwi and Beriah and Sarah, their sister. And the sons of Beriah, Aber and Malkiel. These were the sons of Zilpah, whom Laban gave to Leah his daughter. And these she bore to Yaakov, 16 beings. The sons of Rael, Yaakov's wife, Joseph and Benjamin. And to Joseph in the land of Mitzrayim were born Manasseh and Ephraim, whom Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore to him. And the sons of Benjamin, Bela and Becher, and Ashbel, Gera, and Naaman, Ehi, and Rosh, Mapim, and Hupim, and Ard. These were the sons of Rahel who were born to Yaakov, 14 beings in all. And the son of Dan Hushim, and the sons of Naphtali, Yatziel, and Gunai, and Yetzer, and Shalem. These were the sons of Bilhah, whom Laban gave to Rahel his daughter, and she bore these to Yaakov, 7 beings in all. All the beings who went with Yaakov to Mitzrayim, who came from his body, besides Yaakov's sons' wives, were 66 beings in all. And the sons of Joseph who were born to him in Mitzrayim were 2 beings. All the beings of the house of Yaakov who went to Mitzrayim were 70. And he sent Yahudah before him to Joseph to point out before him the way to Goshen. And they came to the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went up to Goshen to meet his father Yisrael. And he appeared to him and fell on his neck and wept on his neck a long time. And Yisrael said to Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen your face, that you are still alive. And Joseph said to his brothers and to his father's household, I am going up to inform Pharaoh and say to him, my brothers and those of my father's house who were in the land of Canaan have come to me. And the men are shepherds, that they have been men of livestock, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all they have had, and all that they have. And it shall be, when Pharaoh calls you and says, what is your occupation? That you shall say, your servants have been made men of livestock from our youth even until now, both we and also our fathers, so that you dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination to the Mishrites. Chapter 47. Then Joseph went and spoke to Pharaoh and said, my father and my brothers, their flocks and their herds, and all that they possess, have come from the land of Canaan. And see, they are in the land of Goshen. And he took 5 men from among his brothers and presented them to Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to his brothers, what is your occupation? And they said to Pharaoh, your servants are shepherds, both we and also our fathers. And they said to Pharaoh, we have come to dwell in the land because there is no pasture for your servants' flocks. For the scarcity of food is severe in the land of Canaan. And now, please let your servants dwell in the land of Goshen. And Pharaoh spoke to Joseph, saying, your father and your brothers have come to you. The land of Mizraim is before you. Settle your fathers and brothers in the best of the land. Let them dwell in the land of Goshen. And if you know of capable men among them, then make them chief herdsmen over my livestock. Wow, look at the favor. And Joseph brought his father Yaakov and stood him before Pharaoh, and Yaakov barak Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Yaakov, how many days are of your life? And Yaakov said to Pharaoh, the days of the years of my sojournings are 130 years. Few and evil have been the days of the years of my life, and they have not reached the days of the years of the life of my fathers in the days of their sojournings. And Yaakov barak Pharaoh and went out from before Pharaoh. So Joseph settled his father and his brothers and gave them a possession in the land of Mizraim, in the best of the land, in the land of Ramses, as Pharaoh had commanded. And Joseph provided his father and his brothers and all his father's household with bread for the mouth of the little ones. Now there was no bread in all the land, because the scarcity of food was very severe, and the land of Mizraim and all the land of Canaan became exhausted from the scarcity of food. And Joseph gathered up all the silver that was found in the land of Mizraim and in the land of Canaan for the grain which they bought. And Joseph bought the silver into Pharaoh's house. And when the silver was all spent in the land of Mizraim and in the land of Canaan, all the Mizrites came to Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in your presence? For the silver is gone. And Joseph said, give your livestock, and I give you bread for your livestock, if the silver is gone. So they brought their livestock to Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for their horses, and for the flocks they owned, and for the herds they owned, and for the donkeys. Thus he fed them with bread in exchange for all their livestock that year. And when that year had ended, they came to him the next year and said to him, we do not hide from my master that our silver is all spent, and my master also has the livestock that we owned. There has not any been left before my master but our bodies and our lands. Why should we die before your eyes, both we and our land? Buy us and our land for bread, and let us our land be servants of Pharaoh, and give us seed, and let us live and not die, and let the land not lie waste. And Joseph bought the entire land of Mitzrayim for Pharaoh, because every man of the Mishrites sold his field because the scarcity of food was severe upon them, and the land came to be Pharaoh's. So here you see that the Mishrites have come up to Joseph, and they all have now sold their land to Pharaoh in exchange for food. Verse 21, and as for the people, he moved them into the cities from one end of the borders of Mitzrayim to the other end. Only the grounds of the priests he did not buy, for the priests had allotments from Pharaoh, and they ate their allotments which Pharaoh gave them. Therefore they did not sell their ground. And Joseph said to the people, look, I have bought you and your land today for Pharaoh. Look, here is seed for you, and you shall sow the land. And it shall be that in the harvest you shall give 1/5 to Pharaoh, and 4/5 is your own, as seed for the field and for your food, and for those of your households, and as for food for your little ones. And they said, you have saved our lives. Let us find favor in the eyes of my master, and we shall become Pharaoh's servants. And Joseph made it a law over the land of Mitzrayim to this day, that Pharaoh should have 1/5, except for the ground of the priests only, which did not become Pharaoh's. And Israel dwelt in the land of Mitzrayim, in the land of Goshen. And they had possessions there, and bore fruit, and increased exceedingly. And Yaakov lived in the land of Mitzrayim 17 years. So the length of Yaakov's life was 147 years. And the time for Israel to die drew near, and he called his son Joseph and said to him, now, if I have found favor in your eyes, please put your hand under my thigh, and show kindness and truth to me. Please do not bury me in Mitzrayim, but I shall lie with my fathers, and you shall take me up out of Mitzrayim and bury me in their burial place. And he said, I do as you have said. And he said, swear to me. And he swore to him. And Israel bowed himself on the head of the bed. And we'll stop here. Okay. So we'll stop here at chapter 47. And when we come back for our next study session, we'll pick up at chapter 48. Okay? And so what a story, right? Joseph has reunited with his family. He's reunited with his brothers and his fathers. And, you know, the Most High has placed him in a position where he can now provide for his family in a great time of need, when there is a scarcity throughout all of the lands. And Joseph is in charge of all the food, all of Pharaoh's assets. Joseph has complete control of. And through that favor, he is able to provide for his whole family, the whole nation of Israel. And this is all the Most High is doing, right? This is all through Joseph's brothers taking him and throwing him in that pit, deceiving their father into thinking Joseph had been hurt by a wild beast, when truly they had threw him in that pit and sold him off to the Mishrites. All of this is was the Most High's way of putting Joseph in position, in place, to be overseer of all of Pharaoh's possessions, so that he could truly give favor to the people of Israel, right? This is the Most High's favor. This is the Most High's covenant. as we see the covenant that he had with Abraham, Yishak, and then Yaakov, who he renamed Israel, right? And because he has found favor in Israel, and because of his covenant and his promise to his chosen people, he placed Joseph in a position where he was able to bring them into the land of Goshen and set them up and provide for them and increase their possessions, actually, while the remainder of the lands are in famine and in scarcity of food. They are actually receiving the fattest of the land. And so, wow, just powerful. The Most High, he is nothing that he can't do. And there's nothing is done without him. Nothing is done without him. He gets all the glory. He gets all the praise, all of it. And so as you go about your day today, just make sure that you're giving the Most High all the glory and all the praise. Everything that you have, everything that you accomplish, everything good, right? For sure. The Most High gets all the glory. He gets all the praise. You have not accomplished any of it without him. You have only received it through his favor. You have only received it through his grace, through his power. He has allowed it. He has authored it. He has authorized it. He gets all the praise and he gets all the glory. Do not forget that. Okay? And until the next time we reconvene, when we do, we'll come back. We'll pick back up where we left off at chapter 48 is where we'll start back off at, okay? And until the next time, I pray that the rest of your day today is as beautiful as this morning has been. And until the next time we reconvene, I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.